I am Viswanathan and I have been with Krea for the last 3 years. And before I came to Krea, I was with ISRO Mohali, and prior to that, I was with the Department of Atomic Energy. And my excursion or the journey in chemistry has been for the last 40 years or so. It's been a very exciting one, and for the simple reason that chemistry almost touches every aspect of life. Chemistry has applications, for example, in agriculture, in medicine, in forensic science, environmental science, and so on. I could just keep naming quite a few. But the point to be driven home is that chemistry has an important role to play in the understanding of many of the processes that happen in nature. And that's the beauty of chemistry. Unfortunately, when students study chemistry in their formative years, it is made to look as if one has to do a lot of memorizing of equations, formulae, and so on. But that is not what chemistry really is. Chemistry is not memorizing equations. Equations are just a way of bookkeeping chemistry. The real thing that chemistry addresses is asking questions like, why does a molecule or why does a substance have the property it does? If it has that property, how can I put it to use? How can I change the property? And in other words, the whole thing revolves around asking the right questions about the how and why in chemistry. We can give an example. For example, we all know about the Titanic disaster, but if you really go in to see, it's not the iceberg that hit the Titanic and broke it. There's a lot of chemistry that happened over there that actually caused the Titanic to break. Of course, this is not the time where I can explain that, but the point is chemistry pervades almost everywhere. We recognize this as Krea, and the sort of education that we give to our students is not, as I said, in trying to memorize material, but more to encourage them or to train them into asking the right questions. We also train them a lot in laboratory techniques, because chemistry at the end of the day is an experimental science, and it is very important that students are trained extremely well in the laboratory. So 4 of the 6 semesters that they do chemistry, they actually do a very intense labs where we teach them both the conventional, the classical methods of laboratory techniques as well as modern instrumental methods. We teach them the classical methods because that is where you learn the basics of chemistry. And we teach them the instrumental methods because that is what will really be used in the industry or in the research that they would be doing in the later part of their careers. The other nice thing about Krea, which is pretty unique, is that as an undergraduate student, you have the option of doing a research in your undergraduate study. Now, this is extremely important because the best way to learn some subject is to actually go do research in it. And we encourage the student, we train them in this whole aspect of doing research in the 3rd year, the last trimester of the 3rd year. Of course, students who opt to do a 4th year will end up doing 1 full year of research so that they really get prepared for research in the academia or in the industry. And we also have chemistry tied to other subjects. It is not chemistry is not straight-jacketed. You'll see applications of chemistry in physics, biology, which is quite natural, but you also see applications of chemistry in other subjects like art and sports and so on. And students are made aware of this interwovenness that there exists between chemistry and subjects that are seemingly unrelated to chemistry. But then, as I said in the beginning, chemistry has an influence in almost every walk of your life, and therefore it is not surprising to see that chemistry has a role to play in art, chemistry has a role to play in science, and so on and so forth. And this is exactly what we try to emphasize at Krea. So if you do come to Krea and study with us, this is what you will get as a student of chemistry.